So I'm joined today by Marvin, who is a professional English teacher, and he's actually making his living off of doing this here in Bali, teaching online. Welcome, Marvin.
Thank you. Thank you, Angelo.
So, Marvin, start off. What are some websites that you can recommend for people interested in teaching English online?
Yeah, definitely. So after my male modeling career ended, I decided to teach English online. So I first started on italki.com and Preply. Those sites, actually, you can teach any foreign language and you actually set your own rate. So it's a great place to start, build your clientele and set your own rates. And foreign languages also do really well. I have a friend that's teaching Dutch and she charges quite a bit of money. And I have a neighbor teaching French and he's already starting $30 an hour. So there's definitely some opportunities there. Also, if you want somewhere that's a little bit more consistent, you could do Cambly.com. It's only for native speakers though, only for native speakers. It's $10 an hour. However, they charge per minute. It's an interesting kind of slightly creepy way of teaching English because people can just book you for like 5 minutes to 15 minutes to 30 minutes, but over time, they'll just become your regulars. And then if you really want to make a lot of money teaching English, I don't, so I don't teach on this platform, but a lot of my friends here do. It's called VIP Kid. So VIP Kid, you're making about $20 to $25 an hour teaching English to Chinese kids. They're super, super cute. It's just, I'm not a big fan of kids. So that leads me on to what I teach is actually on Like a Shoe. So Like a Shoe I teach basically business English or common English to adults all over China. It's a really fun and very interactive. And the great part is that they set up all the lesson plans. So all I have to do is just show up.
Okay, that's pretty helpful. And guys, I will be linking to all these websites in the description below, so you don't have to write them down or anything. And what are some things that people should be aware of before getting into it? Like, do they need certifications, or what are some hardships they might come across, or what?
Okay, so it's a good question. So I would definitely say definitely get a laptop, or it doesn't have to be a great laptop. So my neighbor is using like a 10-year-old, 15-year-old laptop. So just something that has a webcam, get a headset, make sure the audio is good, make sure you're staying in a place that has internet, and you also have backup. So I usually use my phone as a hotspot in case the internet goes down where I'm staying. So it's a big one. In terms of certifications, everybody just wants you to get a TEFL for most cases. Now on Preply and italki and Cambly, you're basically just a tutor. So there's not a huge amount of expectation. Getting a TEFL, you can just Google it. There's a lot of places that offer it online.
And TEFL, correct me if I'm wrong, but that stands for Teaching English as a Foreign Language, correct?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. So for these sites, I think that's really all you need. And I didn't even get it until after I started tutoring. So it's just, as long as you can show that you're a native speaker or, in that language, a lot of those sites, you will do a video. So people will kind of judge you on the video. A good point is that making a great video really will help, because then if they can see your personality, they can really relate to you, they'll probably end up booking more classes with you. Now for Like a Shoe and VIP Kid, because it's China and because we're professional teachers at that point, you will need a college degree. It doesn't have to be in teaching, it can be any college degree.
Okay, and what sort of time commitment can people expect? Like 10 hours a week, 60 hours a week, what?
Gotcha.
And scheduling too, like nights or evenings or
yeah
what?
Perfect. So with that being asked, so because you're teaching online, it's up to you. You can schedule whenever you want to teach, because it'll be depending on what time you teach, you'll be hitting a different part of the world. So I typically teach in the morning or at night. So my students tend to be in like South America, because for them it's in the evening. And at night, a lot of my students are from Europe, because it's morning for them. So it's really a good point to make, though, is also try to be consistent, because you want to build up a base of regular students, and they typically would prefer that you are available at a certain time, every day or during the week. So yeah.
Okay. So it seems like a lot of these platforms allow you to sort of set your own schedule based on your availability, right?
Correct. And in terms of how many hours, it's really up to you on how much you want to make. So none of these have limits. So if you set your rate at a certain amount, like $10 to $15 an hour, just work backwards and see how much you need to make to hit a goal, a financial goal you have.
Okay, so that sounds really helpful for people looking to take their first plunge into working online, right? Because some of the people watching this may have a full-time day job or they might be taking care of a family. So you're saying that this does allow flexibility to um, work with whatever commitments you might have in life, right?
Absolutely, and I've actually heard people in the U.S. even transition to actually teaching English online as a full time job because if they do have a family, if they're raising kids, they never have to leave the house, so they save money on babysitting and other expenses associated with having to go to work.
Okay, yeah, that's huge. Um, yeah, that's about it. Thanks for joining us today, Marvin. If you guys want to see more of him and his great radio voice, feel free to check out his channel. I will be leaving a link for it in the description below, and also click up on the cards in the top right corner of your screen, and you'll get more of him there. Thanks for coming on, Marvin.
Thank you, Angelo. See you guys.